Megane Melee is back for the 4th year in a row, and for once, you won't have to wait 2 weeks for the details video. This may be redundant after doing this for almost half a decade, but for first-time watchers, greetings and welcome! I'm Beelyton11, the host of Megane Melee. To start off, Megane Melee is an annual charity stream dedicated to the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation, a leading non-profit organization in mental health research since 1987. Last year, we raised $180, part of which was a generous $100 donation near the end. But before it became a charity thing with MM2, it started as a celebration of National Eyewear Day, June 6th, due to my love of glasses-wearing characters. So, each year, I select 5 games that have at least one bespectacled character on their roster, and we play them during the stream in an open lobby type format that anybody can join, during which people can donate to make certain things happen. Speaking of which, let's move on and get into the game choices this year, shall we? If you're a returning viewer, you already know what 2 of the games are. Melty Blood and Dead or Alive, my 2 favorite fighting game franchises. Most recent entries of these 2 series, DOA 6 and Type Lumina, are the 2 constants throughout every Megane Melee. With DOA being my number 1, it's almost always saved as the grand finale, aside from last year due to copyright concerns. And the same will be for this year. Meanwhile, Type Lumina is planned to be the 2nd game in the schedule this time. So then, what's the first, you may be asking?
Persona 4 Arena Ultimax!
Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, also called P4AU or P4U2 for short, is a fighting game based on the insanely popular Persona series, featuring characters from P4 and some from its predecessor. Admittedly, I haven't played this game as much as I'd like to, but this is one of my favorite games to watch high-level play of. While the game may have auto-combos and simple inputs, it's stuffed to the brim with so many mechanics that some people describe this game as unhinged. So here I am, a greenhorn picking up Narukami due to him basically being the Shoto of the game, throwing myself to the wolves on live Twitch.tv. Don't think about holding back though, I want to see some crazy stuff. Speaking of wolves, we won't be seeing them, actually.
Samurai Showdown.
You have no idea how long I've wanted to include Samsho in this event. Pretty much every year I've wanted it to happen, but I couldn't fit it in for one reason or another. Last year, it literally came down to KOF 15 or Samsho, and I left the decision to my local SNK fan, and he chose KOF. Initially, it looked like it would be left on the sidelines again this year, but due to reasons I'm not going to talk about in this video, a spot was able to be opened for it to finally make its Megane Melee debut. Samurai Showdown, or Samurai Spirits in Japan, is known for being a very neutral and footsies-focused fighter compared to the more aggressive rushdown style that a lot of recent fighting games have taken. While I'm not exactly a rushdown hater, I've always thought that the neutral game was more interesting than endless combos and pressure. For this event, I'll be playing Wu Rushang, an adorably clumsy zoner with the power of an ancient dragon contained in her shield. While I'd say Shiki fits my usual playstyle more, I think I've played Rushang more overall in my time with this game. And with it constantly going on sale and the recent announcement of it being included in official SNK tournaments, there is no bad time to get into Samurai Showdown. And finally, it's time for this year's Poverty Pick. I always like including one game that's available on Fightcade, with previous Fightcade entries being Project Justice and Sailor Moon S. And this time, I've chosen a game with a rather close history to one of the 2 recurring games of this event.
闘開始
Akatsuki Blitzkampf, another Dojin fighting game series that started in the early 2000s, is a series I have always been semi-interested in due to its main character, Akatsuki, being a guest character in several other anime fighters like Under Night In-Birth and the BB Tag, the latter of which also include another ABK character in Blitztank. It wasn't until recent years that I finally got to give it a go, and wow, why did I take so long to try this? To quote the Mizumi Wiki, Akatsuki Blitzkampf was designed to be an easy-to-learn, hard-to-master fighter, with shorter combos, no overly complicated command inputs, an emphasis on spacing and whiff punishes, and what it refers to as the Sansukumi system, roughly translated as three-way deadlock, or a rock-paper-scissors trifecta. The game also includes a parry system. Look, I'm not gonna say it, but I'll let you figure out why this game would appeal to me based on those aspects. The character that got this game included is none other than the series' main antagonist, Mikhail. Or Mukhail? Mukale?
Melee.
Alright, I guess that's it. Similar to Rushang, Melee is another zoner, relying on summons to keep her enemies at bay. Despite that, I have a lot of fun with her dive kicks, so screw conventional playstyles, let me kick people. She also has this one move that's inputted with a reverse quarter circle, which keep getting the regular quarter circle forward move when I try to use it, so I'll try to work on that before the event starts. Despite my skill issues, Akatsuki Blitzkampf might be the game I've had the most fun with out of the three newcomers, so I'm excited to show it off. Also, as a side note, for those who may not be aware, there is an arcade-exclusive sequel to ABK by the name of N1's Perfect Welt Anastasis, where Melee returns in her new reincarnation as Melee Anastasis. From a design standpoint, I'd say this is already a glow-up, but I've actually gotten to try out Anastasis a few times by running into it at a few round ones, and I now stand with everyone begging for a PC release of this game. I promise if the day ever comes when you can get a hands on a home release, you can expect it to be in the next Megane Melee, as long as it's not announced like 2 days before the event or after I already announced the lineup that year. Hell, if it happens after I stop doing Megane Melee, whenever that may be, I could see myself reviving it just for this game, as what I've gotten to play of it was super fun. Up next, this is a charity stream after all, so of course we have to talk about... While these are largely the same as they have been the previous years, there have been some changes in some areas. The donation incentives are mostly the same. However, the $40 incentive, which was previously to have me swap to the opposite controller, has been switched to allowing you to remap my controls. This decision was made as the original has never been donated for, so I think this revision would be more appealing. $50 is still the ability to switch the game to anything on the game list, and the same goes for $60 and above being any combination of two previously mentioned options. Also, I'd like to add the change of a 15-minute timer after the start of a game segment before the Switch game incentive goes into effect. This isn't the result of any previous incidents, but I'd hate to get through the opening and immediately be told I have to switch. And the Milestone rewards? This is where things get majorly switched up. The first two are still the same as always. But now, at $750, I've changed it from just me trying and failing to draw my Kasumi custom, the unofficial mascot of Megane Melee, to a behind-the-scenes look at the making of various production materials, such as the openings and the main theme look ahead. I don't know if it'd be possible to do it live, so I'll probably just have to pre-record it, but this is a way to see my thought process behind the creation of these assets. The openings and main theme are easily some of my favorite parts of preparing for Megane Melee every year, so I'd be happy to show off what went into them. And now, the $1,000 milestone reward. The big one. Previously, this was just to make me do a live cover of My Messiah, a song I wrote a few years ago that sort of became associated with MM, and most of the original music for this event reference its main motif. But let's be honest, I don't want to do that, you probably don't want to hear that, and we can just do much better than that. So, what will I do if we reach this crazy milestone?
My heart's stolen by ya, obviously fallen for ya. My love sign open for ya. Oh, jump into my arms, boy.
If we raise $1,000 for charity, I will buy and do a full playthrough of the currently newest game that's allegedly in the Dead or Alive series, Venus Vacation Prism Dead or Alive Extreme. I've been this game's biggest hater since day one, so I've refused to buy it. And from what I've seen, I can't see this game as anything but an insult to the franchise's legacy. But it'd take too long for me to go into all of the reasons why, so that's a story for another day. But due to this, Edwin and Alm, two of the other members of DWR, have been trying to gaslight me into wanting to play it. Well, this one's for them. The one condition where I will consent to a playthrough of this game. Oh, and I suppose I should explain if this is your first time seeing anything from me. Dorks Who Ramble, or DWR for short, is a weekly stream series I do with my friends where we work our way through a story-based game, often getting sidetracked along the way, hence the rambles portion of the name. We also usually have a podcast portion where we just discuss current events and news about things we're interested in, but as of right now that's on a hiatus, because I would split those two portions apart using Twitch's highlight feature, and it's kind of been out of commission for a while. Currently, we are reading through Tsukihime Remake, though only Arcoids are out for now, and should this come to pass, it would be our very next playthrough right after we finish it. Since I'll probably keep this as the milestone reward next year too if it's unreached, the same would go for whatever we're playing then. If this happens, I will no doubt be suffering while playing, but it will probably be really funny. But that's not all. You see, as part of their attempt to convince me to get VVP, they got me a little prank gift, so I'll throw that into this milestone as well. So, if we raise $1,000 for BBRF, we will not only play Venus Vacation Prism, but also... Senran Kagura. What an interesting history I have with this series. This is a third-person shooter starring the girls of this series wielding water guns, with its most infamous aspect probably being the way you finish off your opponents. I have no idea when it would take place, but at some point, if these conditions are met, we will stream, no pun intended, a few hours of this lovely gift that they have bestowed upon me. Hey, wait, this is a multiplayer game. Oh god, am I really gonna have to buy PS Plus for this?
But I'm not done yet!
Alright, so we have two things the others want. Of course, it's only fair that I get something out of this too.
So will you lend me your ear?
The one gacha game I love, and the one that Edwin and Alm hate, and the one that Johnny tolerates, I guess, since I wouldn't shut up about it for months when it first came out. Given the chance to make them sit through one of the game's many special event stories, the me of about a year or two ago probably would have chosen one of the major, lore-significant events, such as one of the anniversary or New Year's event stories. However, over the past 2.5 years since getting into the game, I've mellowed out a bit. Trying to get them to play it is a lost cause, and while I do still think they would probably enjoy the Goddess Squad saga consisting of Overzone, Red Ash, and Old Tales, I know it's a hard sell given the game's exterior. So instead, I wanted to choose an event that I think they might actually enjoy. And the event that I chose was the Christmas 2024 event, the Ice Dragon Saga, where local Chuny Guillotine is a test subject for a VR headset created by Ink, the AI who manages the simulation room that houses the game's sort of roguelike mode. Without having to dive into a minute-long explanation of Guillotine's powers, she does something that, if she doesn't report to her boss in 3 days, will kill her. This prompts a rescue mission to be carried out by her partner and the protagonist, who, upon arriving in Guillotine's delusion, find it to be similar to an MMO she had started playing. I chose this event because it is filled to the brim with references to other media, which is not only quite on brand for us, but some of the references are to things that the others are fans of, so I think they'd get some enjoyment out of this, even if momentarily. Venus Vacation Prism, Senran Kagura, and Nikkei. What an interesting trinity. But together, they are the Forbidden DWR episodes. And they will only happen if we raise $1,000 during this event. Also, I forgot to mention this in the script, but the Ice Dragon Saga stream would occur when the event is added to the archives mode in December. Well, that's pretty much everything. Here's a rough schedule of an estimated time for each game. This will not be exact, not just due to any potential donations to extend the time, but also we usually go over by a few minutes anyway. But anyways, hope to see you in the chat on June 6th. As always, thanks for watching, enjoy the rest of your day, and without further ado, here is the full intro for Megane Melee 4Sight. Farewell!
But you're feeling stuck. Try to run, but you can't keep up. Look inside, and I think you'll find. Can't help but think about those you left behind. Memories in a crimson hue, preventing what you need to do. Can't ignore what I had to say. Nostalgia is getting in your way. It's okay to look back on all the memories you've made before, but remember to separate the past from the present and march into the future. Oh, shadows block my path, so as I pray for victory, focus your sight before we end this holy night. Hold on to hope for a perfect world. We can't outrun the circle of time, so before we're dead, find the strength to look ahead.